Today we are going to talk about how to use the Topanga Spring Reverb pedal by Catalinbread Effects. My name is Jeff Starr and this is my channel Not Bad Films.
And I'm Adrian Locke and I'm a talking monkey.
The Topanga, for those who don't know, is designed to sound like a 60s era Fender 6G15 spring reverb unit. These were tube driven reverb heads that you plugged into the front of your amp. And as a result, they add a preamp into your signal chain.
A preamp that's soaked with reverb.
Yes. You're running that now into your amp, and any distortion that your amp is creating as a result is on top of the reverb.
This is like those classic overdriven reverb sounds you get with like Dick Dale and like Spaghetti Western and stuff like that.
This Topanga spring reverb has really impressed me so far. It's a very authentic sounding spring reverb just on its own. I did an A/B comparison for my wife. I asked her to sort of come by the studio, and I was like, let me play these two things for you. I'll play the pedal, and then I'll just play like the spring reverb in my amp. And she said they sound identical.
Yeah, but she's not like a guitar or gear nerd.
No, but I think that this helps to prove the point that for like the average like listener, the differences between the pedal and a real analog spring reverb, it's super minuscule. You'd be like very nitpicky.
Yeah, no one's gonna complain at your gig that the reverb from this pedal sounds fake.
Here's a quick A/B sound comparison between the pedal and the built-in reverb in my amp, but just so you can get a quick sense of how they sound and see if you can tell which one sounds analog and which one sounds, I don't know, fake. Okay, as you know, there are tons of reverb pedals already on the market.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think the real question becomes like, why should someone buy the Topanga? And if so, how to get the most out of it? If you're thinking about buying this pedal, I would recommend you buy it if it meets sort of these basic criteria for you, and I'll sort of lay those out. One, you know that you only want a spring reverb. This is specifically something that has that 60s Fender sound. Of a reverb unit that's driving into your amp. If you're looking for more subtle settings, I don't really think that this stands out in any particular way compared to other reverb pedals that are on the market. But if you want that sort of driven sound, that surf sound, let's say, I think you'd be very happy with this pedal. Two, it's relatively small. I do wish that Catalinbread would switch to top-mounted jacks. If you put two of their pedals side by side on a pedal board, you'll see that you sort of end up losing a lot of space because of cabling, because they use side jacks. It's not a deal breaker, but just something to be aware of. Three, is this in your price range? I've seen these go for as low as $150 and then as high as $210 new. So I really think it's worth looking around before you buy. At $210, it seems a little pricey to me.
Yeah.
And especially when you compare it to other reverb pedals that are on the market that might do other types of reverb like plate or, I don't know, more ambient stuff. At $150, I think it's pretty competitively priced, but at $210, that seems really high to me. Number four, you can run this pedal at 9 or at 18 volts. I am running it at 18 volts for this video, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. Number five, just basic controls on this pedal are what make it stand out for a spring reverb pedal. You know, if you look at something more basic or the spring reverb in an amp, it's usually just one knob. So here you're getting a dwell, tone, mix, and volume. Dwell and tone are basically going to let you dial this in for your sweet spot. And so I'm playing this with a baritone guitar in these sound clips. So I tended to make the pedal turn off the brightness all the way. Mix is really just how much of the effect you want, which goes from no effect, in which case you could actually use this as a clean boost. Or just a little bit, or just completely wet. Now, if you were to run it just full effect, this would be a nice pedal to add into if you were running a wet dry rig.
So that would require having 2 amps, and 1 amp is just this pedal with the wet turned up all the way, the mix turned up all the way, and the other amp doesn't have the effect at all, and that creates a very 3-dimensional sound, right?
Yes, where one side is just going to be like ambient reverbs and delays or other things.
So do you have a sample of that so we can hear it?
No, I'm not actually set up to record that today.
You're so lazy.
Well, yes. Anyway, that's where sort of the smaller size of this pedal is kind of a winner too, because you can get a really high quality spring reverb that you could just run completely wet if you're splitting out to 2 amps. And then the last thing is the volume. Obviously, your overall output. It'll take you a little bit below unity. It'll bring you above that to be what Catalinbread says is a clean boost. So if you have your amp on the edge of distortion or already breaking up, it'll saturate that a bit more. I looked in the manual and on the website. I didn't see anywhere where Catalinbread says how much of a boost this is. I'm guessing it's maybe 12 decibels, but it is enough to act as a mild boost. Now, if you run it at 18 volts versus 9 volts, you do get more output. It's not a ton more output, but it is more that I preferred running it at 18 volts, and that's why I'm using it at 18 volts in this video.
If we could just get to the part where I play drums, and then we could hear it in a track.
Yes. So we're going to put this in a track. I'm running the Topanga into the Z+, which is an amp by Dr. Z. I'm running the amp on the 7-watt mode with the tone stack bypassed. This is a Class A amp, so in that sort of 7 watts, no tone controls other than a presence cut. It's a little bit more like a Fender Champ, but it has a 12-inch speaker. It's a much more robust version of a Champ, but the idea is I wanted something that was touch sensitive and quick to get dirty.
All right, come on, let's do it.
All right, here we go. final quick thoughts. I like this pedal. I don't know. I rented this. I don't know if it's a pedal I would keep. But that's because I already have spring reverb in my amp, and it sort of serves the purposes I need. So it sort of would be duplicative. I don't really have a distinct need for it. And from like a sound quality standpoint, I don't really have anything negative about it. I think if there's hesitance, if you sense there's hesitance in my voice, it's just because I don't want people to be disappointed if they spend what I think is a little bit more money than it maybe justifies. And then they're like, oh, it just does that one thing, and I don't like spring reverb. But if you like spring reverb, like I do, and you like that surf sound, like I do, then I think you'll dig this pedal quite a bit. And finally, I should point out that this video is not sponsored. There are Amazon affiliate links in the description for any of the gear I've discussed. You know, if you click on those and you use those links, I do earn a small percentage of money. That just really goes to help fund making more videos on this channel and renting pedals like this one here. If you like this video, please check out other stuff on the channel.
Please like, please comment, please subscribe.
Yes. All right. Happy practicing.
Happy practicing. Can I get a banana?